Before they were legends in Detroit, they were ghosts behind the Iron Curtain. This is the story of 5 men who didn't just play hockey. They redefined it. Welcome to the Winged Wheel Report. Today, we unravel the brilliance of the Russian Five. In the pantheon of hockey greatness, few innovations altered the DNA of the NHL like the Detroit Red Wings' Russian Five. At a time when North American hockey was defined by grit, dump-and-chase strategies, and brute force, 5 Soviet-trained players brought grace, geometry, and a symphonic understanding of the game that changed the course of a franchise and the league itself. The Cold War cast a long shadow over international sports, and hockey was no exception. Soviet players, trained under centralized systems with military-like discipline, were largely inaccessible to NHL teams until the late 1980s. But Detroit's visionary GM, Jim Devellano, and Soviet defector-turned-scout, Nick Polano saw an opportunity. With the help of Russian agent Valery Gushin and quiet diplomacy from Michael Lich, they drafted Sergei Fedorov and Vladimir Konstantinov without their knowledge, banking on eventual defections. The pivotal moment came in the early 90s, when Red Wings senior vice president Jim Lites and assistant GM Ken Holland helped orchestrate the dramatic and dangerous extraction of Konstantinov from Soviet control. Later additions included Slava Fetisov, an older statesman of Soviet hockey, Slava Kozlov, a young forward with finishing skill, and Igor Larionov, a cerebral playmaker nicknamed the Professor. Coach Scotty Bowman, hockey's master tactician, assembled the 5 Russians into a single unit in the 1995-96 season. Instead of simply sprinkling the Russian players throughout the roster, Bowman dared to start all 5 on the ice, a radical concept in NHL circles. The result was hockey poetry. Unlike traditional NHL systems that prioritized straight lines and physicality, the Russian Five relied on fluid puck movement, constant motion, and positional interchange. Their passes often seemed telepathic, cycling the puck backward and sideways with the goal of controlling time and space, a hallmark of Soviet-style play. Opponents couldn't keep up. The puck rarely touched enemy sticks when the 5 were in sync. Shifts were extended, control was suffocating, and the game slowed down for them even as they accelerated through it. In 1997, the Russian Five were instrumental in breaking Detroit's 42-year Stanley Cup drought. Their chemistry wore down opponents, and their style controlled games. Konstantinov's bruising yet brilliant defensive play complemented Fetisov's poise. Fedorov's electrifying versatility, Kozlov's finishing, and Larionov's surgical precision rounded out a group that opponents simply couldn't match. Tragically, just 6 days after winning the cup, a limousine crash left Konstantinov and team master Sergei Natsikhanov with devastating brain injuries. Fetisov was also in the car but recovered. The accident sent shockwaves through the hockey world. The team responded by dedicating the 1997-98 season to their fallen comrades, wearing Believe patches on their jerseys. In a remarkable display of unity and emotion, the Red Wings repeated as champions in 1998, wheeling Konstantinov onto the ice in a wheelchair to celebrate the cup win. The Russian Five were more than a novelty. They were a blueprint. Their success forced other NHL teams to rethink their approach to skill development, puck control, and international scouting. It also paved the way for a wave of European influence in the league. In Detroit, their impact transcended sport. They became cultural icons, proof that creativity and unity, even across language and geopolitical divides, could build something beautiful. The Russian Five weren't just 5 players. They were a movement. The Russian Five revolutionized how the game could be played, reminding the hockey world that skill, intelligence, and cohesion could be as dominant as brute force. They didn't just win games, they reshaped hockey philosophy and left a legacy that lives on every time a defenseman skates the puck out of the zone with patience, every time a line cycles seamlessly, and every time international talent is embraced in the NHL. Their story is one of courage, innovation, and transformation, not just of a team, but of an entire sport. They changed the Red Wings. They changed the NHL. And they showed the world that hockey was more than just a game. It was an art form. Subscribe for more Red Wings legends, right here on the Winged Wheel Report. Hit that bell so you never miss an episode. Leave a comment, Who's your favorite Russian wing?